Hi, my name is Justin Brantley. I'm the founder of the Brantley Method, and I want to start by saying thank you for watching this video. Whether this be your first time encountering the Brantley Method or you've seen all of my videos, without a doubt, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. I wouldn't be making this content if it wasn't for you. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, whether this be welcome to or welcome back. I want to thank you for joining us as we dive into what really was the root and the start of this channel to begin with, which is giving you education, guidance, and direction on the recruiting process. Over my last 14 years of professional experience, I've journeyed from my involvement in grassroots basketball to operating as a strength and conditioning coach and working with student athletes on a one-to-one basis. My time spent on the recruiting sector as National Scouting Director for NCSA Athletic Recruiting, up to my point in time as the Director of Spire Academy in Geneva, Ohio. Over those 14 years, I've worked with hundreds of student athletes and help them reach the next level, whether that be NFL, NBA, or whether that be NAIA. To me, there's no difference in that. My goal and my passion has always been in helping student athletes reach their goals. So that's really what this channel is about. That's why I started this, and it's spun off into many different things, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. But I wanted to get back to the roots. So what I'm going to be doing. Every single day I get countless amount of phone calls, text messages, emails, different people that I consult for, I work with, asking questions about the recruiting process. Justin, how should I do this? Or, it'd be a student athlete that I've worked with or I'm currently working with. Coach Justin, how should I do this? Or a parent that has questions. And I'm answering those same questions over and over again throughout the course of the day. And I figured it would be fun or it would be interactive for me to do that and answer those questions in one forum and utilize this forum as an opportunity for dialogue, for us to discuss these topics, an opportunity for me to spread my voice much further than the small sample size of clients that I'm working with currently, and be able to virtually assist anybody who needs help in the recruiting realm. So what I'm going to do, each day you'll see content coming from me. We'll call it the Recruiting Assist of the Day. I will make videos for student athletes, coaches, and parents. Sometimes we'll talk about the same topic that day across all three. And then other days will just be different. It depends on some of the questions that I get, some of the things that we have going on. So feel free, any questions that you have on the recruiting process, you can drop them in the comments below. Feel free to email me, justin@thebrantley.com. I'll put that in the description below. And I'm looking forward to interacting with you, and I'm looking forward to helping guide you through this recruiting journey. For the coaches that haven't had much experience with helping their student athletes navigate the recruiting process, it's key to have some help and some support. So that's what this series is for. That's what this video is for. We're going to be doing this on a daily basis. Today we're talking about how to assist your student athlete in earning a Division I scholarship. There's three key points that I'm going to touch on. Obviously, it's much bigger than that. It's much broader than that, and I'll dive into that maybe on a case-by-case basis. So if you have questions individually, you can comment below. You can reach out to me via email. I put my email address in the description below. But the three things that I'm going to say, and the three main points are: A, be encouraging. We want to make sure that we're encouraging our student athletes. A lot of times we have student athletes that we know in our heart of hearts is not a Division I athlete, or maybe they just aren't quite there yet. The key there is to have those open and honest conversations, but to always be encouraging, to make sure that we're not tearing down their dream. We're not telling them that there's absolutely no way that they can make it or that their dream's unrealistic. We're having those conversations and discussing with them, okay, hey, this is what it takes to get to that level. This is how I can help you. Let's sit down and let's compare your skill set to some of the other guys that are playing at that level, and hey, what do we need to work on? And letting that student athlete guide you, letting that student athlete have that conversation with you. A lot of times they may be unrealistic. They may say things that make absolutely no sense, and it's okay to address that. I'm not saying sell them a dream or fill their head with air, but what I am saying is don't crush their dream. Have that conversation in as positive of a way as possible. And then start to put together action steps into reaching their goal. One of the other things, so step 2 is expectation management, okay? Saying, hey, guess what? Possibly Division I may or may not be a piece of that puzzle, but I want to open up your mind. I want to open up your thinking to the other levels within your sport. I want to sit down and talk to you about what those other options look like, so we can keep them all on the table. We can work towards them all, and when it's all said and done, then we'll have more options and more opportunities. And the way that you frame that and the way that you put that is altogether different than, hey, you know what, you're not a Division I athlete, or you can't play at the Division I level. So first and foremost, being positive, creating expectation management, letting those student athletes know what it's going to take to play at that next level, from the amount of time that they're going to have to put in developing their game, the amount of time they're going to have to put in, whether it be conditioning, whether it be strength training. Talk to them about all of those different aspects, and that's that expectation management piece. The next step I'll say, and this is honestly the most important piece of the puzzle to me, and that is academics first. Sit down with them and talk about the academic side of their goal. Let them know that it doesn't matter how good of an athlete they are, if they're not academically sound, their options are going to be extremely limited. So we want to make sure that they understand that there is no athletics without academics when you're talking about playing and competing at the college level. That's something they go hand in hand. There's no one before the other or one more important than the other. And our young student athletes need to understand that, and they need to know the importance of that. And then lastly, be honest. I think that that's probably, and a lot of times inherently, I think I'm an overall positive person. I believe that everybody does everything for the right reasons, and I know that that's so not true, but that's the way I like to view this world. That's the way I like to believe. So a lot of times I think when coaches are dishonest about their ability to help, or they're dishonest about really helping to navigate that student athlete through the recruiting process, I don't think it's because they're malicious or they're doing it to be a detriment to that student athlete. I think that there's a lot of factors that come up. Whether I don't want to tell this kid that I have no clue because XYZ school around the corner has been recruiting him, and if he feels that he's going to have a better shot of going Division I from there, he might leave me. B, I don't want to come across to my student athletes or to the parents of my student athletes like I'm incompetent or don't know what I'm doing. Or C, maybe we might think we know a little bit more than we do, and we're in that phase where we're just not ready or willing to ask for help. I think there's a lot of value. Me myself, having a teenage son, if a coach came to me and said, hey, you know what, Mr. Brantley, I just don't know. I just don't really understand. I don't have a pure grasp of the concept of the recruiting side of things. If that coach is a phenomenal coach and he's doing right by my child, I'm not transferring my kid just because he doesn't understand that aspect. What I am going to do is I'm going to identify some resources to put into my student athlete to make sure that he gets all the help that he needs on the recruiting side that's aligning with the help that we're getting athletically through the coach coaching him, the help that he's getting academically through his teachers, his tutors, his mentors, etc. I think that that's key. So that's why it's so important to be honest from the beginning, because it gives us as parents the time necessary and the time needed to build and put those resources around our child to make sure that it all works out. Will you have some student athletes that walk away and say, hey, you know what, there's this coach over here who's had 100 Division I players, I'm going to go play for him? Inevitably you will. And it happens. It's part of the game. But what changes and what happens is those people that trust you and believe in you, and now they know, hey, coach is honest with me, even when it means him saying that he doesn't quite know, they're going to buy in that much more. And then on your end, that next step is for you to go get better educated on the process, right? Tell that student athlete, hey, you know what, let's find those resources together. I'm going to learn it at the same time you're learning it. I'm going to help you through it. Now you're going to be better for that next generation of student athletes coming after him. So the key here is, really understanding what that recruiting process looks like, getting educated on it yourself so you can help guide and navigate your student athletes through it, being honest with them as they go through it, being encouraging and making sure that they understand that they can come to you and they don't have to fear, negativity, they don't have to fear having their dreams crushed, and knowing that you're going to not only, push them and hold them accountable, but you're also going to help them with identifying the different steps that it takes to be successful, whether it be academically, whether it be emotionally, whether it be athletically. All right, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this. Like I said before, I'm here to help you. I'm here as a resource for you. My job and what I do on a daily basis is consult. I consult for student athletes, families, athletic programs. That's something that I do within my business life. The Brantley Method YouTube channel is something that I do for fun. I do to share this with the masses. There's a lot of people that, for one reason or another, they don't have the opportunity to hire a consultant to navigate them through this process. So essentially, by subscribing to the Brantley Method, you have a consultant. You have somebody here for you to help guide and navigate you through this recruiting process. Utilize me. Put comments below. Ask questions. Send emails. Whatever I can do to help navigate you through this process, that's what I'm here for, and I'm looking forward to helping you through this journey and looking forward to being here with you from start to finish.